I happened to come across Shira 7 on YouTube, and she completely changed my life. And she basically taught me what a high value man is and what to look for when trying to find a husband.
Oh God. Gosh.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I'm back again with another video. Listen, I have been sent this video on my Instagram multiple times of people wanting my reaction to this entire situation. So apparently this woman went by the name of the new trophy wife, or the trophy wife, and she basically was a living, breathing example of all of, Sprinkle's ladies' teachings.
I happened to come across Shira 7 on YouTube, and she completely changed my life. And she basically taught me what a high value man is and what to look for when trying to find a husband.
I think that many women don't know how to identify what a successful man actually looks like. All right, ladies, let's talk about 5 signs you're dating a dusty.
And apparently things ended up taking a turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press play. I have not watched this video at all. Like, I have not seen any parts of this video. I'm going to press play and we're going to watch it together. And I'm going to give you guys my full thoughts, my opinions, my feelings, my reaction to this entire situation.
Hi, trophies. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. If you hear any noise in the background, that's the new baby. A lot has happened since the last time that I recorded. I think the last time you guys saw me, I was in my 2nd trimester, and yeah, I think I did post an update in the community section when the baby was born, and I said that I would be back soon, and that was a few months ago now. I thought that when I came back on here that it would be to maybe do like some kind of newborn favorites or meet my new baby or something like that, but unfortunately it's been a little over a month since I had to end up leaving my husband. I honestly don't even really know where to start with this, just because it's just such a hard topic. And I honestly thought that by the time I got on here that I wouldn't have any tears left because I've just cried so much. It's like I built this channel and this whole brand around being this man's wife and trying to teach other women how to attract good men and provider men and all these different things. And I truly held my husband, or saw him, as the bar for what every woman should, type of man that, or type of husband that every woman should aspire to have. And I didn't realize that the person I married was actually going to be my biggest nightmare.
All right, so we're just a couple minutes in. I think obviously she's going through something emotionally, so she's not able to, like, pick up the pace. But I think that's very interesting so far, just from what I've seen on social media, of this woman, right? Like, as in, follow sprinkle sprinkle ladies' advice, and get with a man that has the bag who can quote unquote save you. Like, you know, you're teaching women to go after these things, and this is something that I always talk about, continuously, is that whenever finance is a focal point for women looking for a man, and that is it, like the situation of her not thinking of his principles, who he is, his standards, his structures, his structure. If you're just thinking about finance, there's going to be a large possibility that you are continuously going to be let down emotionally, because all you're thinking about provision in the financial sense, but there's so much more provision that men provide that is overlooked because you're only focused on the bag.
So basically, when I first met my husband, as I've already talked about in another video, I think it was my single mom video, I explained, a little bit about how we met. And I really thought that that man was my Prince Charming. So when I first met my husband, I thought that he was my Prince Charming. I thought that he was my knight in shining armor, and he portrayed himself to be this amazing, upright, righteous Christian man. And I believed him.
And I ended up falling for the girlfriend trap, but that guy had really investing a lot into me and doing a lot for me, so I kind of felt like I had to agree to be his girlfriend, because he asked me multiple times, and I finally agreed. So after me and him broke up, it didn't feel good. It didn't feel like a family, the kind of family that I was wanting, so I ended up breaking up with him, and we were living together. We were living together, and I just like packed all my stuff and left. And it was crazy because the next day, my husband, my now husband, reached out to me and was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I told him, I just got out of a relationship, and I kind of told him a little bit about why.
I think shortly after we got married, and this is something that I haven't talked about, I started noticing like certain things changed with him. And I just started to see a few things that I didn't like, but I honestly thought that some of these were things that I could get past.
So it says here on the screen, she said that she noticed that after they got married, he changed. And then now she typed something, 4 times in the first few months of our marriage. And that's very interesting. She said these are things that she could just look past. So I'm a little confused as to how you felt like it was such a severe act, but then that you thought that you could look past it, especially in the beginning of your situation. I'm a little bit confused about that. Also, a little bit confused on doing that within a marriage as well. Is it something that, like, a lot of people have the ideology, right, that if you're married, especially under the a Christian mindset, right, like your body belongs to him, his body belongs to yours. So that's a very harsh statement to make about somebody that you are married to. And again, if that happened in the beginning of your relationship, right? When you're like fresh into your marriage and it was such a big deal, how is it that you felt that it was something that could be overlooked if it was so, heinous in act? I'm a little confused about this so far.
It's like sad to even say like I could get past some of these things. I don't even know where to start. 6 weeks ago, I was changing my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, and I noticed that when I changed her, she was red and very sensitive. And immediately, my first thought was, did someone touch her? Oh God. Gosh. So I asked her, I said, baby, did somebody touch you? And she ended up saying it was Daddy. I felt like my world ended on that day.
Everybody know Rivah love the kids. Okay? Let me tell you something. That is absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. And the fact that the child, I don't know, she said that she was a single mother, but then the fact that she's saying that her daughter said daddy, I don't know if that's her biological father or her stepfather. It doesn't matter. Right? It's just the fact that, things can go to a certain limit with your child. Is this man in jail? Like, what? Girl, you need to talk fast. Okay? Because all this straighten out the conversation. Just say what you're gonna say. Don't be, nitpicking. Just talk. Talk plain so we can find out exactly what's going on. Because so far, I'm confused, right? You had some allegations about this person. You jumped into, he was your Prince Charming. Like, what transpired from then to this situation that created this whole, like, we need the information.
My husband wasn't home at the time when she told me, but I knew he would be coming home soon, so all I could do was just say, don't tell him that you told me. And I just instantly started trying to think of how I could get my kids out of the house, because I knew if I confronted him or asked him about it, that he would just lie, and that he would probably just continue to keep doing stuff to her, but just become more covert or more sneaky or whatever. As soon as my husband got home, he was actually picking up the boys from school, my 2 older boys from school. As soon as he got home, I told him that I was gonna go Halloween shopping with my sister, because I just needed an excuse to get out of the house with all the kids. And I knew if I said something like, oh, I'm going to the grocery store, that it would be suspicious. Like, why am I bringing all the kids and like packing things?
All right, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm confused, because the story timeline that she's portraying to us, people who don't know anything about their situation, it went from Prince Charming to he was a little creepy in the beginning of the marriage, but I overlooked it, to they obviously have children because she said the new baby, to you're afraid to tell him that you can, take your kids and go somewhere because it's going to seem suspicious, or you have to create an escape plan. Like, that's very confusing. Like, is it that this man has been controlling? Is it that, you have been under, distress in this entire relationship? Like, it's not adding up. Like, how did it go from Prince Charming to this situation? Like, and I don't know if it's because she's emotional that she's skipping over parts of the story, but the way that you found this out from your daughter, immediately believed whatever the situation was, didn't even decide to have a conversation or whatever, or dig a little deeper, cool, calm, collected, whatever, but then you immediately are making like an escape plan. Like, there has to be more to the story as to why you didn't feel like there was a follow-up conversation necessary, or that trust or whatever was not there, and that you needed an escape plan. Like, these are holes in the story that need to be filled, because I'm very much confused.
Like, things that we would need and things like that. So going Halloween shopping was the best thing I could think of to just hurry up and get the kids out of the house. I'm sorry, I had to get myself together. So when I got to the hospital, they basically told me that we had to go to another hospital because they didn't do physical exams, like that kind of physical exam there. So a police officer escorted the kids and I to another hospital where they were able to evaluate my daughters. It ended up coming out that he had actually been touching both of my daughters, who are only 2 and 4 years old.
No. Nah, player. No way. No. 2 and 4, those are babies. And by the sound of the conversation, I don't know if it's their kids, but she said the new baby, so I would assume, the 2-year-old or whatever. That's crazy. That's absolutely wild. And again, constantly I talk about, when people talk about the sprinkle lady, or people talk about, women who are only, dating men for the money, and he has to, provide for you and stuff like that. There's always more that needs to be that needs to be indulged in, right? Like, you need to know who this person is. Are they a stand-up person? What their character is like, what their principle is like, how their mindset is with certain things. You need to be around and observe these people. Hence why I've always had the consistent conversation that, I don't agree with being a woman and getting into a relationship and, if he don't marry me in 3 months or 6 months, then, it's not going to work out. No, you need to see somebody. You need to watch them. You need to be around them, observe them in every facet, when they're happy, sad, angry. Like, you need to, fully feel that you are, have a strong understanding of who this person is. And yes, people do grow, evolve, and change. And, some people can say, oh, I know that person for 10 years. I never expected them to do that. But you have a much more broader understanding of this person than somebody who just met this person yesterday, 2 days ago, a couple months, and just jumped in the situation because they were looking for somebody to financially save them. Because this is crazy. Because now there's all this trauma wrapped up in your baby girls from a situation of you just looking for a Prince Charming, again, because you were coming into a situation as a quote unquote single mother. You, already stated so far that you were willing to turn a blind eye to certain things that seemed heinous to me, but you were willing to turn a blind eye to it because you were already married to this person. I'm confused.
It still feels like a dream. Like, when this first happened, I just kept waking up every day and just hoping that this was a dream. Because it's literally my worst nightmare. It's my worst nightmare. I myself am a product of RAPE. That's how I came to be. And was also, abused as a child by a neighbor's husband. And I specifically prayed to God that my children would never, ever, ever have to go through this. And I'm just not quite sure how this happened.
All right, so I saw a couple clips of this person on TikTok. As people were sending me the videos and stuff like that, I also saw some clips of this person resurface, obviously because she had created this video.
And so, he was talking, my lease was going to be ending very soon, which is why I went ahead and moved in with my person that had became my ex. We started living together, and I told my husband, I was like, hey, it was so embarrassing to him, but I was like, I need a place to stay because my lease is ending and I just broke up with my boyfriend, and even if it's just like for a couple weeks, it's okay. Just so I look for, somewhere else, because I had planned on needing to find somewhere else. And he was saying, well, if you're going to live with me, it's going to be as my wife, not as my girlfriend. And I was like, well, how spontaneous are you? And he laughed and he said, very spontaneous. So then I was like, right. So we started entertaining the idea of getting married.
And so you know how the algorithm works. Like, people start talking a lot about this one person. Her old videos start resurfacing. And there was a clip in particular, a couple clips I saw in particular of, her being in the middle of filming a video, and her, children or her daughters in the back, like crying, whatever. And she's like, oh, don't worry. They're with my husband.
I stayed in situations much longer than I had to because I had children in those situations. So I understand the struggle of that. Definitely. But, there's that saying, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's when you'll make a change. And that's very true. So it's just all about whenever you have the courage to do that. Sorry if my house is noisy in the background. I don't know how much you all can hear, but there's so many of us that it's just like that. So if you hear stuff in the background, just act like you don't. What else do y'all want to talk about? I don't even know.
Now, a woman who is a product of certain things or who has endured certain things, you would be, on top of your children like a hawk, right? You would be watching them like a hawk. You would be like, I don't care how long I've known this person. I don't care how good they seem. I'm going to be, right there in front of their face. I need to watch them all the time. Like, you're going to have code words, trigger words. Like, you're going to have certain dialogue with your daughters to say, hey, these are healthy boundaries. This is not okay, no matter who it is. Because if you are not just leaving it up into thin air and you truly are trying to cover them and protect them, you are going to make sure that at any means necessary, they are not leaving your side. That you are watching them and seeing them. And I have this conversation continuously, like, all these women who are single women talking about, oh yeah, I'm going to make sure that I get into this situation so this person can pay my bills and take care of my kids. Like, you need to be mindful of the fact that this is not the same relationship as somebody who has, created these children. And There's sick people in the world, men and women. Right? So even men who move on, it's a little bit different because, you know, men take that leadership role. They're the ones who are in the forefront and are going to, you know, be like, okay, nah, I got this, I got that. You don't have to take care of this, or you don't have to be around that, you know. But with women, a lot of women are so free. Right? Because they're so, you know, lost in the sauce of whatever situation, they have no problem just turning a blind eye to things because of the comfort of their surroundings, because of their ability to stay home. Like, we've seen it time and time again. And this is not bashing. I'm not saying that, you know, she, you know, deserved this situation. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm trying to say is that a lot of women, again, getting lost in the sauce, turning a blind eye, or because they're in situations of desperation that they want to, quote unquote, be saved from, they are not paying attention to the things that truly matter, that are right in front of them.
Why this happened. I just don't know how he was able to get away with it and so sneaky, because with my own trauma, I watch my kids like a hawk.
Interesting that she said that word. Again, I have not seen this video. I have not seen it at all. I'm watching it with you guys for the first time. But again, like I said, with the clips that I saw on social media, there were a lot of times that your children were in the background and you were not around. It happened often. And then the fact that when you first changed the diaper, you immediately thought that something happened to her, that says a lot. Like, why would that be the first thing that came to your mind? Why would that be your first thought, unless you thought there was some underlying situation possibly going on? Like, this sounds crazy.
Like, I don't like them sitting on people's laps. None of that. And he knows how much I cannot stand men like him. And to think, like, I couldn't even go to sleep in my own house and know that my children are safe. Just by me going to sleep, my children were left unprotected. So I don't know what the future of this channel is going to be. I don't know if I'm going to change the name or what.
Let me tell you what I appreciate from this woman. What I do appreciate. What I do appreciate is that, as loud as she was preaching the narrative of, oh, you know, this is what you need to get like a high value man, and this is what you need to do, and these are all the steps that you need to take to get a high value man. I appreciate that she came on that same exact platform that she was talking about that stuff with, and exposed the dangers of if you were only chasing the bag and not to focus on other things. I appreciate that, right? I can appreciate her vulnerability and ability to be honest, because there's a lot of women who would go through this, keep it in the dark, make it seem like there's another situation of why the family broke apart, and just keep it pushing, right? They would never, bring so much highlight to the exact situation. And again, the dangers of chasing the bag. They wouldn't do that. However, I do want to bring this up again. There's so many women who are single mothers who talk about, oh, you know, they want the Sierra story, they want this story. And again, on both sides, there are women creeps and there are male creeps. Women will go out there and go live their life and leave their kids up to whoever will watch them, whether it's their homegirl, their friend that they just met at work, whether it's a guy that they just started dating. They will leave their children in the care of these people. And again, go out and focus on themselves, live their life, have fun, do whatever the case is. and they're leaving them in places that are not trusted company, right? You don't know these people for real. You don't know these people's intentions. And honestly, it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter how close you are. That's why there's a lot of people who procreate and have children, but there's not a lot of mothers out there. And that might sound very harsh, but it's true. Now, can you, protect your child in all aspects? No, because obviously they have to go to school. But that's a different story. But in your own home, you have to be sure your inclination has to be right with the person that you are choosing to bring into the home with these children. You have to be sure. I said it before in multiple videos that especially when you're a mother, a single mother, and you are trying to date when you are young, when your children are young, you are putting your whole family at risk. That's just the truth. People want to say, oh, it shouldn't be like that. We can't think about what it should and should not be. You should be, if you're not dating your children's father, if you're not in the relationship with the father of your children, all biological children, and yes, there are rare cases where situations can happen with, whatever. Again, vetting process, very necessary. Knowing that person, very necessary. But if you are, going on a limb to bring this person into your home with your children, and you do not, have a strong relationship with them or knowing them, is dangerous, again, for everybody. To know that you went out there and picked that person because you thought that they were the best decision, they were Prince Charming, knight in shining armor, because you thought that. It's a crazy thing. It's crazy. And again, it's a very different situation between men and women because men rarely go to sleep first. Right? They're the ones who are up watching the household. So if a man brings a woman within, in his life and in his home, there's different situations that occur. Different boundaries, different things he's going to be watching. Right? You're not here to do this. I got this, or whatever the case is. It's very different. Women being the weaker vessel. You have to be very careful and cautious with how you move and how you are doing things.
Yeah.
Now, so after this video, I was sent again on TikTok videos from apparently this woman's ex-husband's niece or something like that. And she decided to give her account as to whatever happened in the situation. I have not seen those videos as well, so we're going to go ahead and watch it. I'm going to press pause and play, and then we're going to react to it together.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dee, and I am the niece of the trophy wife's husband. Now, I know you know who the trophy wife is because she's been going up and down my timeline for the last couple of days. Her name is Isis, or Paloma, which is her real name. This lady is completely insane. Let's just start from there. Background story. Her and my uncle got together really quick. From what I've been seeing and what I've been told, she thought that she was getting a come up with my uncle. But then when things didn't go her way and she pretty much seen that she could no longer hide the things that she was doing behind closed doors, she ended up trying to find a different route, which was to come on here and lie to you all and tell you that her daughter had been touched by her dad, which that is not the case. Her daughter had been touched by her son.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay, wait, hold on a second. Hold on, time out. Too many things have been talked about so far. Wait a second. Let's start with the beginning. So she's saying that they got together really quick. Again, I've never seen any of these videos. This is the things I always talk about. You need to vet for a long time. You need to know this person. That's why when people clown people for dating people for 3, 4, 5 years, I've never been a part of that wave. I've never had that. You guys can go back to previous videos where I've talked about it. because again, you need to spend time and be around this person in a certain space to truly see them in all different facets so that you can know them. Next thing is that, yeah, I mean, the conversation being that she, was looking for a come up. Again, if you're following Sprinkle Sprinkle Lady's advice, they always talk about it. She's a financial advisor, not a relationship coach, right? So what does that mean? It is teaching women how to get the bag, how to secure the bag, not to find good husbands, find good men, have everlasting long relationships. It's no, how to find somebody who's the weakest link, who will pay all your bills and allow you to stay home. That's all that she talks about. So if that woman was a devout, person following Sprinkle Sprinkle's advice, obviously it was a come up. Now, for this woman to say that she knows for a fact that that didn't happen, if you did not live in the house home, if you were not there 24/7 watching that child, I can't 100% say that you know for a fact that that did not happen. Okay, because you can think that you know somebody, but until you live with them, see them 24/7, you cannot 100%, put your name on the line and say you know for a fact that that situation did not happen. But now she's talking about the son. Let's continue.
And she didn't want anybody to know because she wanted to try to make it seem like my uncle was the bad guy because she wasn't getting what she wanted in the divorce. For you smart ladies out there who sat up there and thought to yourselves, oh, this cannot be true. This can't be, something that a woman would allow, which it's not. It's not something that a woman would allow. I am a victim of and I don't appreciate one bit of the accusations being put out there, especially not just because they're fake, not just because that they're out there just for clout, but because of the fact that this involves a family member of mine who I care about dearly. Multiple family members, if you want to put that out there, because the kids are my family too. The boys are somebody else's. The girls and the last baby are a part of my family.
Okay, so that would mean that obviously, so she had two sons when she came into the situation, and so the daughters in whom she's talking about these allegations are against are with the husband. Now, what I think is interesting so far is that basically this woman is trying to say that the divorce was already in sue, right? So this is how she's making it seem like she had to divorce her husband because of this. This woman is saying something different. She's saying, no, they were already divorced. And because she wasn't getting what she wanted out of the divorce, she added this. Which, I'm not going to lie, it makes a little bit more sense in the story because, again, to hear that, not have a conversation, run, leave, and all this kind of stuff, the exact steps are a little bit different than I would have assumed how it would naturally go in that kind of situation.
And if they're being harmed in any kind of way, I definitely would want to stand up for them, for sure. But her son is the one that the baby first initially said that was touching her. My grandmother was changing the baby one day and she seen that it was red down there and she said that her brother did it. Now, when they went to court, the court did not believe what she was saying because Paloma had already ISIS had already put out a case against my uncle because my uncle was furious when he found out that her oldest son was touching the girls. So he went out and tried to, seek help to figure out what he should do about getting her son away from the girls so that they would no longer have to go through this. But as soon as he did that, ISIS went and took papers out on him claiming that he did it because she didn't want her son to go down for it.
This whole thing is foolishness, okay? Let's just be real. This whole situation is just foolishness, toxic, chaotic. It just sounds like some mess. But if what this woman is saying is true, that is shady as all get out. Okay. And again, no different than manipulation for somebody's money. So if you can manipulate to get into a situation so somebody can take care of you and pay all your bills, who's to say that you can't manipulate other situations? And it's sad that that's the truth, that we have to look at it like that. Whether, because how do we know? Okay. How does anybody else know what the exact situation truly is?
On top of all of this, she's sitting over here acting like she's the best parent in the world, when if y'all go look for yourself, y'all will see that she has a child abuse case of her own. Her youngest son she tried to put it on my uncle that he abused her youngest son, which loves my uncle to death. But the day that her and her ex tried to put out there that my uncle had abused her son, he wasn't in the state. He wasn't nowhere near. So once they went to the hospital and they took the little boy to the hospital, the one thing that they didn't do this time is the social workers pulled him aside and started asking him questions and asked him, who hurt you? Come to find out, the little boy told and said that it was her. Not only that, her oldest son has sent my uncle threatening messages. He has rubbed poop on the walls at multiple family members' house, including theirs. He has pushed his younger brother down the stairs to the point where he had a concussion, and she didn't want to take him to the hospital because she didn't want them to know that.
What the heck going on with these? First of all, how old is the oldest son? That's first of all. Second of all, why aren't the two sons living with their dad? Why aren't they living with their father? If she had to team up with her ex to try to make a plan, why aren't those sons just living with their father? In any case. Because it sounds like they, just from what these allegations of what the niece is allegedly saying, it sounds like they're a little bit out of control. And you're not able to care for them in a certain way. You're a woman. You don't have the ability to provide a certain amount of structure. And it sounds like with this relationship with their stepfather that, even though the younger one may have a good relationship with him, it sounds like the older one is a little bit of a menace when it comes to that, allegedly.
She had, a son that had been abusing all her other kids. And then not only that, he hasn't just touched the two girls. He's touched all three of the kids. He's touched his little brother, he's touched his 4-year-old sister, and he's touched his 2-year-old sister. But all of this will come out eventually. My uncle cannot say anything right now because the case is still open. But my thing is, you sitting over here saying that he did all of this stuff, but if he did, the police themselves said that he would be in jail. They would have took him to jail as soon as the hospital said.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Even if there is just an allegation, if they come to you and they question you, you're going to leave the house or wherever place that they find you in handcuffs. If you go to a place and you say that these children had some kind of issue with this man, they're going to go find that man and lock him up. The only way he'll get out is on bail. And then he was going to have a whole trial and stuff like that. So that is 100% true. That's not a lie. That's not a possibility of things that could happen. That is 100% the truth. So based off of the first woman who was talking, I immediately assumed that maybe this man was in jail or whatever the case is. So knowing that he's not in jail, that changes the narrative of the story. And my question is, why lie? Why create this whole narrative? Why go so far to tarnish this person's character if that's not the case? And then you're still making these allegations, and if these things are the truth, why is that person not in jail?
Oh my gosh, the baby's been touched. He would have been in booking right away. He wouldn't be out right now working. He wouldn't be out right now being bothered with all of this extra stuff that you're putting on him because of the fact that you want money? Like, what mother uses this platform to sit up there and say, my babies have been touched, excuse me, and then sit over there and then try to put a GoFundMe page up? Do you know why she's putting that GoFundMe page up? Because my uncle has had enough. He's not giving you any money. He's not sitting over there playing into your little schemes where she sits over there and tries to have her kid's father call his phone to get him to talk to the kids so that she can say he's in breach of a restraining order. Like, there's so much proof behind all of this stuff that you all do not realize that is going to come down on her head. But yet you all are sitting over here believing her sob story, not doing your research, and paying her money. This girl has up to $2,000 already on GoFundMe. Probably more now because I haven't even checked this morning. But it's crazy how y'all will go for a black man or go for any man off of what a woman says. Like, women don't lie every day to get ahead.
That's the truth. That's 100% true. And I think that some of the people who are bamboozled, yeah, you're going to have a large part of like women who are like the feminist women, and, you know, they just believe anything. They don't care. They're not going to believe anything that this woman is saying. You know, there's people who are not going to read between the lines and be like, okay, 1 + 1 = 2. All this stuff is not really making sense. I don't understand how we jump from this to this to this. Like, I'm a little bit confused. But a lot of these people are going to have a hard time understanding the lengths that some women will go to get ahead. Like, yeah, they know that women lie, but some women don't understand the lengths, the measures that women will take to not only tarnish somebody's name, tarnish somebody's career, but also, again, to get ahead or to get money or something out of the situation. Like, a lot of people have a lot of women have a hard time understanding that there are women who are villains in the story.
I am a strong advocate for black women, for women in general, for people in general. But men, I feel like we need to just slow down a little bit. I always think that they're the bad guys because it goes both ways. And I am a mother of a black little boy. So for me, I can understand why she would want to cover up for her son, but at the same time, me personally, if my son is doing anything like that and I have other kids, I want to get him the best help possible away from his siblings until he is confirmed better. And I know he's no longer a threat to the other kids in the house, because you can't just sit over there and single out one kid and be like, oh, I'm going to protect this one, but whatever happens to the other ones just happens.
1,000%. 1,000%. Yeah, you absolutely have to do that. You absolutely want to think about the betterment of the entire household, not just one person. But again, even within the black community, there's a lot of covering up for their children, right? When they're doing right, wrong, and different, a lot of these mothers are the ones who are covering up and sweeping things under the rug. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to, bring light to the situation because of their own embarrassment. And so they leave things out there.
That's not okay. And then you want to sit over here and portray to these women out here that, oh, it's okay to be a trophy wife. Just go for that rich man type deal. No, how about go get your own money? How about stop, please, ladies, please stop waiting on a man to fulfill your life financially, spiritually, emotionally, all this other extra stuff, and find your own way. Do that. Because when you find your own way and you know your self-worth and you know what you are capable of and what you will tolerate and what you won't tolerate, then the good man will come find you. But until you know your self-worth, you're just going to keep picking up anything off the street and being like, oh, okay, he got a little bit of money in his pocket, so he going to treat me right. No. Because what the one thing that you don't realize is that man that has that money, he's also got a little brain in his head too. So he also is already aware of these women that's coming out here to do these things to him or to try to trap him in these ways just for money or attention or the clout or whatever. Like, come on. We are in 2024, about to be 2025. Why are we still doing these same little tricks? Somebody needs to be teaching y'all how to make your own money, how to get your own way. So then that way, when you do find that good man with a lot of money, then y'all can build together instead of sitting over there waiting for him to give you an allowance or whatever, your little stipend for the month. Be real. Just want to let y'all know, for the crusties and the dusties, please be mindful of what you put out here on the internet, because you could be getting a lawsuit coming to your doorstep for you putting out accusations of stuff that you have no idea about. Everything that I'm telling you right now on this computer screen or on this platform, I'm letting you know that this is the truth. This woman, it's no records that she has been, that little girl has been touched by my uncle. No records. But it is a record that she had a diaper rash. It is a record that she has child abuse charges against her. It is record that her son has sent my uncle threatening messages. It is a record that she's not telling the whole truth on this platform, what she said in the courtroom. The courtroom that she had my nieces sitting in looking at the wall the whole entire time so that they wouldn't get emotional looking at my uncle. Because they love their daddy. And now he has to suffer without seeing his kids because of the fact that this woman wants to lie and slander his name.
Can we just be honest though? Again, I don't know. The mom is saying something, the niece is saying something else. One thing I do know is that women will go through to great extents to lie, right? Oh, you're not going to do what I want you to do. All right, watch this. I could just call the police and say this. I can call the police and say that. But I find it very interesting that she came to the platform and told all this information, but that she didn't go and file a police report. I find that to be very key information in this whole entire conversation, is that she did not file a police report against him based off of the allegations that, you know, her daughters had, and based off of the evidence that she saw and her apparently knowing exactly what was going on. I find that very interesting. I find it very interesting that she said that she watches them like a hawk, but at the same time, she left them to be with his mother. If you watch, and the mother was, the grandmother was changing the diaper. If you're watching like a hawk and you're so concerned and you're so, afraid and you want to be so involved, nobody's not doing that stuff. So I'm seeing some little things that are, I don't know. I just think it's crazy. I think it's absolutely crazy.
Because she did not get what she wanted in the divorce. The divorce that she did not put out there, by the way. Because me personally, if anybody had did anything to my kid, oh, baby, I'm going down there first thing and divorcing this person. I'm not about to sit over there and wait. If anybody, it's without me and my knowledge or without me saying yes, oh, baby, I'm not about to stay married to somebody like that. That's crazy. But for you to sit over there and say that he's done all these terrible things to you, and yet it took him to divorce you and not you to divorce him. Open your eyes, ladies. Stop being stupid. Because this girl is full of lies. Full of lies. Everything y'all heard. First off, let me ask you. Let me get this. Look, who wipes their eyes all the way up here like this when you're crying? Huh? Who does that? Nobody. If I'm wiping my face, I'm wiping all down here because I'm a sloppy crier. And I'm pretty sure most of y'all are too. I don't know why y'all sitting over there trying to act like them housewives doing all that little... No. Let them tears drop if you real. Because if I'm talking about my baby and something like that happen, oh, I don't care if it's ugly cry or not. I'm gonna have snot and everything coming down my face. But this girl could barely even look at the camera the entire time she was talking on this video. I have no reason to lie to y'all. But I want to let y'all know that the disrespect for my uncle, it has to stop, because this man has done nothing. And the reason why you don't hear him saying anything is because he knows that this is an open case. And when you have an open case, just like we see on The Housewives with Karen Huger and anybody else that goes through a case, you cannot talk about it until the case is over. So ISIS, this is my message to you. I hope to God that you got your ducks in a row. I hope you hired a new lawyer after the last lawyer sat up there and took herself away from your case because she seen that it was no case. So I hope you hired a really good lawyer, or I hope these people give you enough money to where you can get you a good lawyer. Because, baby, you going under the jail. And I hope these people crucify you for all the lies that you have got on here and told. You are not a good person. You are not a good mother. You only... And even right now, you're still out there looking for the next victim. You're out here looking for the next victim. And that's so, like, I'm laughing because that's so fucking sad. But you need not come for me and mine. You need to know that. Because this man does not deserve it. And I know some that do. But he doesn't.
This don't make no sense, y'all. To be willing to go through these links. And again, this is what I have to say. Is that to the people who are saying, you know, naysayers against the niece or whatever the case is, if you are willing to go to great lengths to manipulate a man so he can pay your bills, I can't say, based off of just your character, I can't say what other lengths you'd be willing to go through. I can't say. I can't say that, you know, all of your story 100% makes sense. I can't say. And what's so sad is that we just gonna have to watch this story back and forth. We're gonna have to see what the outcome is. We're gonna have to watch it. You know, she's the one who has, you know, charges against her, the mother, when it comes to abuse for her son. So we're gonna have to just see. I don't know if the man is eventually gonna speak up, or if she's gonna, you know, the niece is gonna keep us in the loop of everything that's going on. But we're gonna have to just see, because at this point, it's like the whole conversation that she had is like up in the air. It's null and void. We don't know to believe it, not believe it. I have no idea.
So for all of you out there that had the good mind of thinking that she was a liar and that she was just putting on to get sympathy points, yes, she is. And I'm sorry that the rest of you fell for the okie doke and you have egg on your face right now. Because that's what you get for listening to stupid stuff on Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok. You're listening to that stuff and you don't even know the whole story. You don't even care to find out the whole story. You're just going to condemn a person, say that you wish them dead, that they should be under the jail and all this other extra stuff, when the justice system doesn't even feel that way because they don't have any evidence that he did anything. So please, next topic, next subject. I better not see no more. I better not see no more. Because when he come out, baby, all y'all that's out there right now talking junk are going to be so sick. Because this girl is sick. Her and her son. I'm sorry to say it. Because I don't want to talk about nobody else's kid. But if it's the truth, it's the truth. So they're going to get theirs. Don't worry. They're going to get theirs. And they're going to get the help that they need, hopefully. And I hope all y'all out there that's sitting over there calling my uncle all kinds of names, saying that he needs to die and all this other extra stuff, I hope y'all are the ones that help her get the help. because y'all need it right along with her.
Wild. I don't. What do y'all think about this? Okay, I'm dumbfounded right now because again, I have not seen any of these videos. I didn't see her video. I didn't see this video, so I'm just at a loss for words. I don't even know what to say. You know, because there's so much that could be said about the situation, but there's no, like, this video just negated that whole video. It highlighted a lot of the missing elements of the first conversation, and I was already a little bit confused. You know, my first initial thought watching the video, you know, right along with you guys, is kind of like, you know, is he under the jail? What's going on? And that's my genuine reaction because I'd never seen it. And then for her to come and validate those same thoughts I had in myself is kind of like, it's just wild. I don't know. It's crazy. I want to follow this story very closely. I don't know what's, you know, if she's going to say something next, if she's going to provide actual evidence, timeline, whatever, like information, police report, whatever. But I'm going to find, because we need to find out what's going on. We really do. And it's sad that women know that they can come to the internet and just have a common enemy that is a man, and that people will 100% just side with a woman and not want to hear anything from the opposite side. You know, obviously the reason why I brought this up is because I felt like we needed, you know, balanced perspectives of the entire situation. I don't know what to say. Okay. But what I do know is that if I still stand, you know, 10 toes down, that if you're trying to manipulate somebody to pay your bills, to get money from them, to be in a certain kind of situation where you don't have to pay bills or whatever the case is, that is wrong. And again, emotionally, you're going to never be fulfilled. You're going to be sad. You're going to be heartbroken, all those things, because you're not looking at the things that you should be looking at in a partner, in a husband, in a father for your children, in a man. And to the women that's lying and manipulating, that's wrong. And I think that if women make these, you know, heinous accusations, that there needs to be some kind of, you know, criminal repercussion for them, because, you know, you're tarnishing this man's name. There are people around you who know you, who watch that video. There's people who know him, who work with him, who, you know, you don't know what predicament you're putting this man in his actual life, all just to save face for other people and to lie. And again, if it's true that he's the one who filed for divorce and not her, that's crazy. I don't know. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts, your feelings, your opinions on this entire situation. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.